harbor. And this is the little mountain road. That are the dogs that kept me awake all night. And that is where I was sleeping. So, those guys, they made me some coffee. And today they're not working because there's no diesel for the trucks. So they can relax, and they have one more week, then they can go back to home, to Bulacan. So that's where I'm staying as well. That's the laundry. And of course, wherever you go, you always take your rooster with you, so you can plan a cockfight. There's a champion. The champion is coming out of the cage. Putting a little leash on. There he is. And that's the shower. I think this is a bit the boundary of the city. And this is where I was walking when you called me yesterday. I was walking in the opposite direction. And it all looks like this in that direction. But then I saw the light post on top of there, and I thought I'll go there. Children 3 months below, free of charge. What do you think of that? Young sporty boys. Kunacha. Yeah, that are the usual places here. It's funny how they've painted white woman on the wall. Hey, you remember this saying? Give a man a fish and he will eat for a day. To teach him how to fish and he will eat for the rest of his life. Alright, so that's the place.